Right now, switch your family to T-Mobile and get 4 lines for $25 a line with AutoPay and 5G access included on America's largest 5G network. So don't wait. Get unlimited and nationwide 5G access for the whole family for just $25 a line. Visit a T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com today.
Plus taxes and fees. Customers may notice lower speeds and further reduction if using over 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video at 480p. Unlimited while on our network. Qualifying credit and 4+ lines required. Capable device required for 5G. Coverage not available in some areas. Some uses may require certain features. See T-Mobile.com.
What's going on, everybody? Rich Butler here. Thank you for taking the time to download episode 2 of Toys and Tech of the Trade, your one-stop shop for toys, tech, and talk with some assembly required. This week's episode is very special. Sam and Emily Cataldo from Saverio's Pizza Room are our guests this week. But before we jump into the interview, I did want to get some housekeeping out of the way first. I know we owed you guys an episode 2 weeks ago, but I have a little one on the way, and that kind of throws things a little off, especially with all the doctor's visits and everything else. We weren't able to schedule interviews, but we will be covered for the next few episodes. In addition to our interview with Sam and Emily dropping on this episode, we are also going inside RageWorks and talking to some of the members of our team and sharing the toys and tech of their trade. First up is going to be Jimbo Slice, who has been highly requested by many of you that are fans of the RageWorks network. Jimbo and I, of course, do the variant issue together, and he will be one of the first from the RageWorks team that will be stepping up to bat, followed by our very own Slick. He and I obviously work together on My Take Radio. Slick is our games editor and oversees the bulk of our video game content on the RageWorks site. So we're going to take a deep dive into the tech he uses and the toys that he's obsessing over. And, of course, the other members of our team will be coming up, Jay Santee, Matt Olsky, and, of course, Josie's boy as well, plus a host of other different talents from both the creative side with content creation like what we do, plus a few others that are definitely a far departure. But those guys will be coming up in the coming weeks. With regards to the release schedule, as I said, we're going bi-weekly with Toys and Tech of the Trade with a release date every other Saturday, alongside some of our other weekly shows, including Call Me When It's Over, Turnbuckle Tabloid, The Variant Issue, and many others. So keep an eye out for that every other Saturday on iTunes and also via the RageWorks network, which you can find it on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and Spotify, plus iHeartRadio as well. All right, that's going to cover the housekeeping for this episode. Let's toss it over to Sam and Emily and learn about the toys and tech of their trade. All right, I'm sitting here with Sam and Emily Cataldo from Saverio's Authentic Pizza out in Massapequa here in the beautiful state of New York. We're going to chop it up, find out what gear they use, what gadgets, what tech they use to not only run their small business, but also give us some of the best pizza on Long Island. Sam and Emily, thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
You guys have been in business since 1967. The pizzeria was an extension of A&S Pork Store. Let's start with that first. Give us a little background on how the pizzeria spun off from the pork store. What got your family to even get into that business in the first place?
Sure. The pork store opened in 1967, like you said. My dad was an immigrant from Italy, came to the United States in 1960, worked with a gentleman named Mr. Anthony Chicatano for many years prior to opening up the first A&S pork store on Long Island here in Massapequa. So it was the number 4 store in the chain of many. 3 were in Brooklyn, and this was the first on the island. It was store number 4. And we've been here since then. It's our 51st year in business.
Wow.
And thank God the community has been very supportive. We have wonderful families that are, I think it's now 4 generations of families that shop in our store. And we have our 3rd generation of family working in the store. So we are very blessed to be here all these years. And now it has spun into, opening up the doors of Saverio's in 2015. We wanted to add a new product to offer to the customers, because there were other stores that were local to where these other customers live, where they wouldn't come up to the, North Massapequa to do some shopping. So we wanted to give them a new product to come to try and get them to come back to the pork store to shop. So we offered the pizza, not realizing that in almost 4 years, it would be a business of its own. And, we're really thankful for, all the good luck we've had.
I think that by doing one-stop shopping, I think it's the right way to go. I think that business model works, especially, with restaurants and a lot of small chain supermarkets. Everybody's trying to get into it. It's good that you guys are not only doing that, but leveraging all the great ingredients that you guys have. You guys have all fresh ingredients, a lot of imported ingredients. How did your family get into that? Like what said, hey, I want to open up a chain pork store?
Sure. Well, it goes way back to when my father was only 9 years old, and he began his career as a young boy, really selling produce in Italy. So he went town to town, horse and buggy at 9 years old, supporting his family, because my grandfather had a car accident and was severely injured and was unable to work. Wow. So my father was the oldest son at 9 and had to go to work. Wow. So he went town to town selling fresh produce, and it was always fresh and quality stuff that he would buy from the farms, and literally horse and wagon for hundreds of miles up and down the coast of Italy selling fresh produce. So when he came to the States and was offered this opportunity to become part of the food industry, of course he, grabbed the bull by the horns and did what he knew best and offered fresh quality ingredients to the community. And still, we pride ourselves on only offering high quality, fresh ingredients on all the things we sell in the pork store, and also on the ingredients we use on our pizza. Everything is made fresh daily. Tomatoes are cranked in the morning. The grated cheese is grated in the morning. The dough is made fresh daily. The mozzarella has been made fresh every day for 51 years. So we've continued that legacy that my father has handed down to us to make sure quality and, of course, customer care is like the priority for our business. And it's been very successful.
Did you wake up and pretty much you knew from the start that you were going to get into the family business? I know a lot of people that are multi-generational business owners. It's always like, hey, this will be yours someday. And some people, they don't want to do it. And some people do. Were you naturally inclined?
Well, not really, because my father, was blessed with me as a daughter, but not as a son. So, I was never allowed to work in the store as a little girl. It was mainly a man's butcher shop, back in the day when I was a little girl growing up. But then, my husband came on board in 1983, and he, sort of took over management of the store recently, and our son is there. So, and I am there in the pizza side. I don't work in the pork store side, but I do, some holiday cooking for the pork store. Nice. So, we knew it would stay in the family once my husband became very involved in the business. And, we're very fortunate that we had this opportunity, and he's very happily employed there and is a partner there. And my son is now employed there, and he's hopefully one day will be a partner there. And, hopefully for the generations to come, the store will stay there. It's a great family endeavor. It definitely is multifaceted. It takes a lot of dedication. And, it's a whole family endeavor for sure.
I'm going to toss it over to Sam. Were you always inclined to want to get into the food industry, or was it something where you being with Emily, it kind of just absorbed, it kind of just pulled you in?
Yeah, that's more like pulled me in, because before I met Emily, I was, I used to work in Manhattan in the old New York Coliseum. I was a Teamster, and, I just started driving the high-low, which is the forklift. And then what happened over there was the summertime, it got slower. And there wasn't that many shows going on. My job was to set up the shows, the car show, the boat show, the toy shows, the exercise and fitness show. That was my main job.
Like at the Javits.
Right. Now it's the Javits, but before it was the New York Coliseum. That's the same union that I was in. It's in the Javits Center now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Learn something new.
Yeah. So then, I was dating Emily, and her dad asked me one day, I was over there for dinner, and he asked me if I wanted to come work at the store. I said, I have a job. I said, I don't know if I can, just leave my job and come work at the store, but I'll try, because now the summertime, it gets slower. And fortunately, the pork store, it gets busier in the summer. So he could have used the help. And then, once I tried it, I knew that was it. I never went back to the union, and I been there since 1983. It's been 35 years this year.
So I was, while doing research for this interview, I saw that you have to become a certified PCOLO.
Right.
So, tell me a little bit about that, because how do you get certified? How does that work?
Well,
because that's
I'll
intriguing.
tell you the reason why I wanted to get certified was we went to Italy, my wife and I, with our family. We went to Naples, and we were with our family, and we had pizza in this one restaurant that was in Italy's theater district. And our cousin Alfonso and Geraldina, they took us to this restaurant, and the pizza was just fantastic. So I looked at my wife and I said, we have to do something like this at home. If we can do this at home, it'll be a home run. This pizza is amazing. So we came back from Italy, did a little research. It didn't work out the first year. I couldn't find anybody, or really couldn't find the right person that I wanted to learn from, I should say. Then about 2 years later, about two and a half years later, a good friend of mine said, listen, I have somebody you can call. And his name was Roberto Caparuccio, and he owns Don Antonio's Starita. It's on 50th Street and between 8th and 9th Avenue in Manhattan.
Oh, I know that place, and it's funny because while researching, I said, wait a minute, this place was on the Food Network.
Yes, it was.
And Jeffrey Zakarian from the Food Network was there.
Yes.
And they were talking about it. And when I saw that, I said, wait a minute. And I saw how it came full circle. So that's really awesome, because that place, it's, you either have to be a foodie or you got to do your homework to know about that place, because it's a hidden gem. It's tremendous that you learned.
Yeah, no. And Roberto took me on right away. A friend of mine asked me to make the introduction for me to him. And then the best part of the whole thing was my daughter had gotten married on June 20th. That was supposed to be my last day of school. So of course I couldn't go to school that day because my daughter got married. So I spoke to the teacher, Roberto, and he said, don't worry about it. Come back Monday and Tuesday and we'll finish. And when I went there, I think it was Monday or the Tuesday, Mr. Don Antonio himself from Italy was
from
in
Naples.
the restaurant.
From Starita in Naples.
Holy cow.
He saw me making pizza, and he came over to me next to the pizza bench and was actually making pizzas with me. And
wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
I gotta say, it was pretty cool. That was like, it was a legend.
Yeah, that's like taking batting practice with Babe Ruth.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It was pretty good,
And then we went to Italy last summer, and we went to Starita. We visited my cousins in Naples, and we met at Starita, and we had pizza there. And it was really awesome to have pizza there, where he was the man that actually started the whole process of Neapolitan style pizza.
That's
so it was
insane.
really, really cool.
So, you were talking about all the fresh ingredients, milling the tomatoes. So and I'll start with Emily first. What's an average day for you?
An average day
for running the business for you.
Okay. An average day is anywhere from 12 to 14 hours of work.
Wow.
It starts, early in the morning. The staff gets in and of course sets up the shop for the morning, bring out patio furniture, making sure everything is stocked for the day. We pull out the dough and make sure it gets to temperature because it has to be out 3 hours prior to making your first pizza.
Wow. Didn't know that.
Yeah. So more dough is made. The mozzarella is cut. We make sure we, grind our tomatoes through the tomato mill. It's all done by hand. We make sure that the grated cheese is grated. We use Parmigiano Reggiano and we use Pecorino Romano. So both cheeses are grated in the morning, fresh. The basil is all plucked, washed, and ready for the day. Wow. It's all done by hand. So it's not like we have a machine that does it for us. We do it all by hand, and with care. Meatballs are made in the morning fresh. Eggplant is breaded and fried in the morning fresh. Mom sauce is made a couple of times a week. So that's a job in itself. So that's all before our opening at 11:30. And then we start greeting our guests and, people come and dine in. They sit outside when the weather allows. They're ordering pizzas to go. So it's quite a process. I mean, we're very lucky. We have a great team of kids that work with us. Both Sam and I are there often, and Paolo is another pizzaiolo right from Naples. So he works with us. Sebastian is a young pizzaiolo in training. He's doing a great job. We have a great group of people working with us. We're very fortunate, but it is an endeavor. And then we do close early because our day starts early.
Right.
So, our doors during the week close at 8:00. Friday and Saturday we close at 8:30. Sunday is back to 8:00 because we start there very early in the morning. So by that time, like I told you, it's already a 14-hour day.
Wow.
So it's time for us to come home and rest, for us to do it again tomorrow.
That's intense.
But we do pride ourselves on quality and freshness. I mean, everything that we offer is food that I would offer my family that was coming over for dinner. So I'm feeding every guest that comes as if they're part of our family, and it's fresh. Nothing is old.
That's amazing. And now, Sam, with you being that you do a lot more hands-on work, what's your day like? I mean, it's a 12 to 14-hour day.
Yeah, 12 to 14.
But I know that you're in the trenches a little longer than that.
Yeah, it's 12, 14 hours, sometimes 15 hours for myself, but I go in the morning. Every morning we make mozzarella. That's first thing you do in the morning is we make mozzarella. That's every day. The best mozzarella is a day or two old because you don't want the mozzarella our mozzarella we make is very creamy. It's very fresh. So you can't put a fresh piece of mozzarella on the pizza because it become all milk. Yep. So what we do, we put it in the refrigerator. It dries up, and the next day or 2 days later, we actually cut it and use it for the pizza.
Nice.
Then once I make the mozzarella, I should say, then I'll cut the day before's. I'll make the bowls of mozzarella. Then by that time, Paolo's usually strolling in, and we get the day going. Paolo gets the oven on. The oven takes about an hour to come to temperature. We cook our pizzas at 900 degrees. So our oven weighs almost 6,000 pounds. So the oven's very well insulated.
And it's imported also.
Imported from Naples, yes. It's a Mario Acunto oven. A little history about that was the Acunto family started making pizza ovens in the 1800s. So what happened was the two brothers, I think it was Mario, and Gianni, they split up at two separate companies. We happened to buy a Mario Acunto oven, which is a very good oven, and so is a Gianni Acunto oven. They're both very good ovens, top quality ovens in Naples. Our oven was shipped from Naples to my store. Again, it was 5,900 pounds. So that oven usually cooks at about 850 to 900 degree pizzas. That's how hot the oven is. Overnight, the next morning, when we open up, the oven is still 550 degrees.
Mm-hmm. You can make bread.
It never really...
You could bake bread in the morning.
Cools down. So at that point, you can bake bread in the oven if you want. You could cook other things in the oven. But we cook our pizza, like I said, at 900 degrees. And it takes the oven about an hour or 45 minutes to get the temperature because it's so hot already. And then we stock the wood. Like Emily said before, we pluck all the basil and get the day going.
Do you pick a particular wood, a slow burning, a rapid burning?
Yes, we use two woods. I use oak and ash. Ash gives it's a faster burning wood and it's more of a flame. the oak is more dense and it's more for heat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, when that oven was brought over, how long does an oven like that take to be constructed within within your, because the way your store is laid out, it's almost built into the structure of the store. So
Right.
How long did that take?
Well, you see, we had everything built prior to the oven coming in.
Right.
Then we put it together after the oven came.
It was built in pieces and sections.
The counter was
Right.
built in sections.
Ah,
the
okay.
oven came over in one piece.
Holy cow.
Yes.
One
It came
piece.
over in one piece, the oven, and it's brought into the store with a special forklift. Has to be a 10,000 pound rated forklift to bring the oven in. And once the oven was put in place, it takes 10 days to cure the oven. What I mean by that is you have to warm up the oven slowly because you don't want the oven to crack. You see, the oven that we use is made with special bricks and special mortar. The mortar that they use it's a lot of water in it because it's clay. And what you want to do is you want to dry the oven slowly. You don't want to put too much heat in the oven because the water inside of the bricks will start to boil. And if it expands, the gases are going to crack the stone.
It's like when people make clay pots.
Right.
Exactly.
Got it.
So
Exactly.
the increments were by pounds of wood. We had measured out pounds of wood, and increments of pounds would raise the temperature gradually for 10 consecutive days. Wow. So we had to stay there.
Couldn't miss a day.
That's
Yeah.
a science in itself.
It
miss
is.
a day.
It came with a manual, and we had to follow the manual every day. We had to turn the page and read how many pounds. We had to weigh it and put it in, and when it would dry out, then you'd have to put more wood.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that
10
must
days.
have affected it, because like anything else, you make a plan and you're like, oh, this is what we're shooting for.
We stood with it.
We stuck with it.
Emily and I even went there on New Year's Day.
It was New Year's Day. We
Me
were
and
there.
Em, we went there. We had New
spent the
Year's
day.
Eve at the house. I did my curing for New Year's Eve. And the next morning we had to be there. I think it was 10 o'clock.
And we were there.
And we were there at 10 o'clock in the morning, her and I, and I made my fire. You start off with, like Emily said, you have 1 pound of wood for about 4 days. And once you start the fire will dies down. After an hour and a half, it dies down. You got to start it again. You had to make 4 fires per day.
Oh,
You had to
wow.
make for 10 days straight.
But we did it. It was fine.
It was fun.
On top of doing everything
On
else.
top
On
of
doing
my
it
job,
on top of
yes.
the job, exactly.
On top of my job, yes.
And that's the part he left out.
And back
in the
those
morning.
days, I did everything. Back in those, I did everything.
Crash course. You got to be cross trained in it all.
Well,
It
the
didn't
thing
stop.
is, he would arrive at the store anywhere between 7 and 7:30 in the morning, and he'd do the mozzarella. Like he said, he'd make fresh batches of mozzarella in the morning. But then, before he opened up the pizza place, before 10:30, when he'd go over to the pizza side to get that ready, he already did 3 hours of work on the butcher shop. So setting up the showcase, making any orders that were called in prior, maybe making rib roasts or cutting steaks or cutting chicken cutlets or, doing some ordering. So already he had to do half a day's work prior to opening up the pizza section.
Wow.
So that's why we do close early
And
too.
back in those days, though, we had, pizza was me and my wife. That's all it was.
It was him and I.
I'll tell you a story. This is part of,
The party of the beauty
this
of our
is-
story.
this is something you'll hear is when we opened up our pizzeria, Emily's mom passed away on December 15th.
Oh, jeez.
2015. No, 2014.
2014. Yeah.
And then we opened up our pizzeria in January of 15. So mom was only passed away, not even a month. And so none of us were sleeping. Emily wasn't sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. Worried about the pizzeria. Mom just passing away. It was just,
You were wired a
pretty
little tight.
tough time,
Yeah.
So I would, like 1 o'clock in the morning, I would say to her, I said, Emma, you up? And she'd say, yeah, I'm up. What's up? I said, listen, you think we'll ever sell 10 pizzas a day in the pork store? In the pizza store? She goes, 10 pizzas? She goes, maybe we'll sell 10. We have good customers. So then, maybe 2:30 in the morning now, I say, hey, are you up? And she says, yeah,
I'm up.
I'm up. I says, think we'll ever sell 25 pizzas a day? And she goes, I don't know about 25. She says, maybe on the weekend we'll sell 25, but I don't know about during the week. So this was going on. Everybody knew these two questions. My best buddy next door, Jimmy, I go to his house and say, Jim, think we'll ever sell 10 pizzas? He was the only guy that had a lot of confidence in
optimism.
us. He
He
goes,
was
yeah,
optimistic.
Man, you're going to kill it. You're going
Yeah.
to crush it.
Yeah, he was
and I
right.
said to him, but you think we'll ever sell 10 pizzas? And he say,
You wanted that number. You wanted
you
that
know?
validation.
yeah,
You know what?
get
It was
know?
it was an uncertainty because Massapequa has so many pizzerias, and although we do sell pizza, I still don't consider us a pizzeria.
Nope.
I always refer to our little business as a pizza room, because we sell Neapolitan style pizza, and it's not really an American pizza place at all. So tell everyone, think of your American pizza and then get it out of your mind, because this is a totally new experience and an authentic Italian experience that you're going to have. And, it was a little scary because we didn't know how that would be accepted in a community of pizza people in Massapequa that are used to traditional American pizza. So it was very unnerving because we didn't know if they would get it. Every other pizzeria sells it by the slice. We don't. We sell Neapolitan pie. It's small pizza, so it comes out by the pie. So that was an issue. I was like, will they accept this? Will they catch on to this? Will they like this? Will they accept it? And, it was a lot of worried at first, not realizing that we didn't have to worry about it at all. Like Sam said earlier, it was just him and I on a soft opening. We just said, today's the day. It was January 23rd. We're going to open the door, the middle
Friday
door
night.
to the pork store that connected the little pizza room to the pork store. We opened up the door, and just the customers that came into the pork store to shop would stick their head in the door and say, hey guys, what's up in here today? And he'd say, I'm making pizza. You want one? And we didn't have boxes folded. I was folding a box as the pizza was coming out of the oven.
sold 62 pizzas.
62 pies the first day. Without an
Yeah.
advertisement, without a menu. We made margarita.
That's how it's done.
We had one can of tomatoes cranked,
That's it.
which only makes about maybe 20 pizzas. We had little mozzarella cut up. I was putting, like I told you before, you can't put hot mozzarella on pizza.
Well,
but I had
that
to,
day we did,
because I
'cause
had
we didn't know.
I ran out of mozzarella.
We
that I
had
was
no
supposed
idea
to.
what to expect. So day one was great. So day two, we're all pumped because like, yes, everyone likes the pizza. Terrific. Day two,
Just me and Emily.
him and I, and we maybe cranked 2 bowls of tomatoes that day and maybe had a few boxes folded. But we sold 102 pies
Wow.
on day two. And we looked at each other and said, oh my God,
We're on to something.
what are we going to do? We need help because we can't do this alone.
So we have a young girl came in. Her name was Christy. She was our first worker.
Yeah.
Really, really,
Really
nice
sweet kid. She helped us out. She
And
jumped right
she
in.
comes in and she goes, you need help? We said, yes, go in the back, grab an apron. You're hired. Didn't
Man.
even,
on the spot.
absolutely. You're
And
hired.
we all learned together. The three of us learned
You
together.
know, I knew nothing. She knew less. My wife knew less than that. So it's a good learning experience for us.
Well, that brings me to what you were saying before. You were saying that you're doing all the butcher, all the butchery, everything else. To that point, nobody had taught you butchery either, right? Like you were learning.
My father-in-law taught me a lot.
Oh, okay.
That. I didn't know nothing about
That's
it.
what I was going to say.
I knew nothing about butchering
So you
at
became
all.
a full-on. Not only did you become a PCOLO, but also a full-on butcher.
Absolutely.
All in the same.
In the same,
breath.
yeah, he learned how to make mozzarella.
So you basically learned 2 trades in one shot.
For the most part,
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 35 years, yep.
Because think about it, if people become butchers, and that's a trade in its
That's
own.
a trade. Exactly.
Right.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
And
That's
there's a
tremendous,
third
man.
part that he does that nobody really knows that he does, but he does all the pasta, ravioli,
Oh, come
all
on.
that. He does all the homemade pasta. He makes all the homemade ravioli.
That was all self-taught, though. That nobody told me.
Really?
That I was self-taught. Yes, I had a guy that used to work with us, and I went back there to learn. I'm a very hands-on, very good learner. I really do. And I went back there and I was watching this guy make ravioli, and I just wrote everything down. I had it all memorized. And when when I could, I would write the things down. How many eggs the guy put in, how much pounds of flour the guy used. And I was like self-taught, because what happened was I had issue with the guy. We had to let the ravioli guy, we had to let him go. So then who's going to make ravioli? So
I guess I'm making ravioli.
There you go.
Ravioli, you know?
Yeah.
And, but till today, I do everything in the store. And the most thing I do that nobody knows about, I'm the mechanic. Something breaks, I fix it. Ravioli machine breaks, I fix it. So it's very, very rewarding, business that I'm in. It's good.
Well, you were saying that, and well, Emily mentioned before that you have a PCOLA in training. So now you're passing those skills on.
Yes.
So now you're the teacher, and now you have an apprentice now, huh?
Absolutely. He's really good. This kid's good. I like this kid.
And how'd you get him?
He came in looking for a job.
That was it?
Actually, you know what? We had one of our head server, his name was Joe T. And, Joe T was with us for a while, and Joe T was leaving, had to go back to school. I said, what do you mean you're going to school? Like,
This is school.
This kid is, Joe T he's amazing. This guy, I love this kid. And, so he actually said, I have a friend that wants to work. And it was Sebastian. And, that's it. But Sebastian he knew a lot more than I thought he would. He
Did his homework, huh?
He knew he knew how to make pizza. Never my style pizza, but he made American pizza before. I just had to show him, our way. I mean, he caught on really quick, the kid. And the kid's
He does a good job.
Big help.
He does a good job. He's a hard worker. He's a nice boy.
They're good family, good people. And, you know what? Everyone that works in the place. I have Joe Bronco that works with me. He's our second person we ever hired. And he's still there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Gio.
And you have Gio.
A bunch of girls that are waitresses with me. It's all good.
My daughter-in-law, Jamie, my son's wife, she works with us on Fridays.
Nice.
So it's
So you keep it in the family.
Yeah.
But you
Try.
also give people opportunities. Also.
Absolutely.
You try to pass those skills on.
absolutely. And of course, me, Seb, and my son, I could see us doing some stuff in the future together, all three of us. We're going to try to do more than one place.
Nice. Now, Emily was talking about, the business growing, you guys bringing people in. You also had to learn the business end quick, keeping the books, doing, you basically had to learn human resources on the fly too, right?
You know what? Our philosophy is, it's basic. I mean, it's not like, we're using computers.
You have no POS system?
Really?
No,
Oh, no.
none.
That was my
I
next question.
am
Like,
an
how are you guys
old-fashioned paper and pen type of girl.
keeping the books.
I
the right way.
don't want to depend on a computer.
Okay.
I like to have papers and pens and a file system, binders, whatever. I file everything. I could flip a page and know exactly how many pies we sold on that day. It's just, old school. I like it better than, a lot of the technology stuff. Like we still use, an order notepad with the waitress will come over and
Right.
take your order with a pen and a paper, pencil, paper and a pencil. Sorry.
It's all right.
It's just old school and that's what works for us.
Well, it's funny because, one of the things we do on the show is talk about the tech and the toys that go into running your business and the fun, it's not every day that you hear that it's a completely analog business that's been in business for this long.
Right.
And everything is kept meticulous. I mean, I've been in the store and everything is by the numbers, and it amazes me just hearing that. I'm thinking, maybe they just put everything in QuickBooks or something behind the scenes. Everything is
Yeah.
wow.
Everything's by hand on paper.
That's tremendous.
Yep.
And you've never said, I should digitize this stuff. Like you prefer just keeping it that way.
We're going to need a POS system eventually. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
We're definitely going to need one.
At the rate you guys are growing.
Yeah, we're going
Probably.
It'll be good because I know I'll pick a good one. I know I'll do my research. Pick your brain a little bit.
That's it.
But as far as technology goes, now that we're on the topic of technology, we do use technology for our advertising
Yep,
via Instagram and Facebook and all the social media outlets.
That was my next.
We do use those skills.
Hell of a segue. You saved me having to even segue into that.
There you go.
One of the things that I've grown to admire about how the two of you approach this business is that a lot of people don't understand that, consumption of food and hospitality is evolving. It's not, oh, let me put an announcement in the penny saver and an ad in the Newsday and, a placard outside. Like, there's more to it. And as much as we are connected now, that plays a huge part. I mean, every time someone goes to your establishment, hell, I've been guilty of it. You snap a picture of that pizza. Hey, where's this? Oh, it's here. And, you tag the photo, you put the geolocation. Next thing you know, someone wanders in. I think that's the art form that still a lot of businesses aren't comprehending, that's where it's going. Gone are the days where you'd pay, $50,000 for a 30-second commercial that would play once at 2 a.m. and you'd hope for the best and you'd sit there with your fingers crossed like, oh man, this is it. We paid for this commercial. We're off to the races. You don't need that anymore.
Not at all.
The advance in technology has made it tremendous. And I think you guys have leveraged it in such a way that for me, just as a techie, I appreciate it and I admire it because you jumped in head first, like, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to
self-taught. I didn't
not say,
a few months ago.
Us that, when we first met
of course.
I mean,
a few months ago, I didn't know how to do any of this stuff.
You gave us a lot of input on that yourself.
100%.
Thank you for.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we're learning as we go and it's just been, a good, I want to say how many months since we really, about 5 months that we really, dove into this whole philosophy, which, was introduced to us mainly by Gary V. Of course, we had this chance opportunity to sit with him and, I had a lot of questions for him and he answered them very honestly and, gave us some really great advice as far as using social media platforms to get the word out there that we are there and our product, let people see and learn about what we're about. And of course the YouTube channel that we are on. And now we're having the opportunity to sit with you tonight. So there are a lot of opportunities that came up these past 5 months that have sort of led us to this path where we now feel comfortable. And it's exciting to, have the media team come in once a month to video us, which is awesome. And they put together our YouTube video for us. And I use those clips to post weekly, which is awesome. And it's really been a great experience, learning experience, because you're never too old to learn.
That's it.
Here I am, 51, and I'm, doing all this and getting better at it every day and experimenting with taking pictures and videos on my phone. Not even realizing I could do some quality stuff off my iPhone. Now I know I can, and learning the editing, and it's just been a great experience.
We have the two kids that come in there, Joe and Rick, I think, from RJ Media. They show us, like, they'll come in, they do their thing, but they help us behind the scenes. They help us like, hey guys, take the picture this way. Use the phone that way. And,
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're two good kids that really, they helped us too. They helped us also, So me, I'm just a thankful person. I'm very thankful for everybody that helps me. I really am. And, I can't thank everybody enough that really put their time and effort into giving us a shot, because we were,
it's scary.
We weren't supposed to be like this.
It is scary.
It's scary going
the
into
unknown,
a business. And that's the thing. I mean, in New York, there's a hustle for everybody. And if you can't find a way to make money in New York, something is wrong.
Right.
But going into the food business, the hospitality business, there's such a huge turnover. There's so many different variables. You have, codes, everything you have to abide by, just a certain quality and a certain standard. And, the two of you both try to really push that standard. Every pizza comes out. You inspect it. I mean, when I ate there, you look at that pie on the way out before it even hits the
100%.
plate, before it gets to that table. A lot of places you go, you buy pizza. Yeah, what do you want? 2 slices. Here you go. And then that's it. And I think that fostering personal relationships, people remember that, because guess what? Everybody remember the worst thing they ate. Everybody remember the worst restaurant they went to. Everybody will remember that. They could have 100 great experiences, but that one bad waiter
Right.
or that one bad dish, and that's it.
That's
You
it.
know, we're fortunate. We actually get phone calls from people that say, wow, this pizza was delicious that we had tonight. It was amazing. It's the best pizza that I've ever eaten. You know, thank you. Cause, you know, you're, like you just said it, you're so used to hearing the negativity of people that normally you don't hear something good come out of people anymore. It's always, like you said, it's negative. And we actually get quite a few
So many.
phone calls back. People take the pizza out, or as they're even the eating there, and they go, wow, this is the best pizza that I've eaten in a long time. Or we just came from Italy. This pizza tastes just like the pizza that I had in Italy. And it's a great feeling.
And
It
a
makes
hell of an
something,
endorsement.
you know,
It is. I mean, people take the time, which is very humbling to me, that they take the time to really write reviews, because we never did that. Like, we've eaten in millions of restaurants and we've, never think to like leave a review until we found out what Yelp was. Before we opened Saverio's, we did not know what Yelp was,
Nope,
because
that's important.
we had no idea what it was. A customer told us that we had reviews on Yelp and we need to claim our name. And I had no idea what the hell this lady was talking about.
That's it.
So I called Allie, our youngest daughter, who was at NYU at the time. And I said, Allie, there's this thing called Yelp and I need your help with it. She goes, Mom, it's an app. I said, okay. I said, well, when you come home, I need your help with this because I have to claim my name and I don't know what that means. She goes, okay, I'll come home. So she came home and she helped us claim our name and establish a business Yelp account where I could respond
To the reviews.
to all the reviews. And I do. Every single review we've had so far has a response by me.
That is super important. And that's something that so many businesses, and if that's one piece of wisdom people can take out of this, respond to your
Respond.
reviews.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good and bad. Because that
And
shows.
I do. I respond. And luckily, we have very few negatives. And I don't even think there are any. Maybe there was one person that was not pleased.
Well, you can't please everybody.
You can't please
too.
everyone.
You know that.
But we have a 5-star rating on Yelp, which everybody that comes in tells me is unheard of. So
right.
I have to, I don't
we
really
got
know,
over 300
but
reviews and still have 5
5
stars.
stars.
It's a
So
big
it's
accomplishment.
amazing. Then another customer came and told us we're on TripAdvisor. So it's like, okay. Then another customer said,
Yep, you got to claim all of those. TripAdvisor,
yeah.
Facebook Business.
right. There's so
Yelp.
many that we don't know
Yep.
that we didn't even realize. So, but I really appreciate that the people do take the time and they write these kind reviews about our pizza,
And lengthy
about our
ones, 'cause
staff.
There's some that are in there that are nice.
There
and,
are. I know.
500-600 word reviews that
It's
people
amazing.
are legitimately talking about the ingredients, the
Yeah.
relationship. If Sam is working, the owner, incredibly humble, nice, amazing food. I think that, one of the big factors that makes your food so good is the fact that the two of you love doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
We do love being there.
And there's an old adage my mother used to tell me, like, my best food comes out when I'm in a bad mood. And it's funny because at the end of the day, how you go into it affects how it'll come out. So if you go into it and you're happy with it,
Right.
and you love it, it's going to show.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something that, you guys demonstrate tremendously. You guys love what you do.
Yeah, we do. I do. And
There
I
is,
I tell everybody, I said, I try to make every pizza better than the last one that I made. I don't ever want to hear from anyone that, that's good enough.
Well, that's
Nothing-
so
You
funny.
phoned it in. or
Nothing
something.
is
Yeah,
good
exactly.
enough.
It was
Everything
funny.
has to be as best as it could be. That's just how I do things. One day, one of the guys I used to have working for me, he said to me, I don't know about it, it's good enough. I said, ho. It's not good enough. My name is on that box. It's not good enough. It has to be to the best that we can make it.
That's
And
it.
that's how we are.
I agree. And this morning I posted on a quote on Instagram, and I don't want to get it wrong, but I don't have my phone to read it to you, but it was from St. Francis.
Yep, I saw
And
that.
it said, when you do a task with your hands, you're a laborer. When you do a task with your hands and your head, you're a craftsman. And when you do a craft with your hands, your head, and your heart, you're an artist. So at that level is where I think my husband is at this point, because he does put his heart into everything he does, especially with Saverio's, more than anything I've ever seen before. And I am very proud of him, because he is very passionate about what he does there and the products he makes there. And he's proud that our family is part of it. Which
is amazing that you have most of your family
they're there all the time. Either they're there to lend a hand, or they're there for the babies to have pizza, or they're there just to see us because we're there all the time.
Because, family members, they'll be like, I don't want to do that. Or,
right.
Oh, I don't want to do it to get into this.
It's great.
Everybody helps.
So I really just I have to applaud my husband, because he is the hardest working man I've ever seen. And he's always doing it with a smile. Even when he doesn't feel good, he's there, and nobody would know he doesn't feel great, but he's still there doing what he's got to do.
That's right.
And he is just one of a kind. And really, I think it's a labor of love that he does there. And he really loves making the pizza for everyone. He loves seeing the people come in with their families. And it's really a blessing to be able to do this together. The philosophy of Saverio's was from about 10 years ago now. I think our Saverio's brand started in 2008 because we bottled our barbecue sauce with the hopes to make gourmet burgers a reality. But our standard is so high that we had a difficult time finding a USDA plant that
Sam
would
just grind his own meat every day.
Well, if we could,
for 14 hours.
If we could, we would. But we don't have a USDA stamp. So, and you'd be surprised that we went and looked, and there was nothing that I would say
3 or 4
I would let them do my hamburgers. They first would not use the cut of meat we wanted. The facilities were a little bit frightening, and I was not going to put my name on that product.
That's scary.
Yeah, it is. So we shifted gears. It took us a long time to get to realize that it won't be burgers, it'll be pizza. But the brand was established in 2008. And the whole philosophy behind Saverio's, I'm going to let you know what it is we wanted families to come together around a table, a small table, a big table, any table that we could offer, and just get back to eating dinner together as a family.
That's right.
Just to sit close, talk about their day, laugh, learn something new about each other, enjoy a home-cooked meal like we're serving. Like for me, like I said before, you coming in, you're part of my family, you're going to eat like my family eats. So that's the philosophy behind Saverio's, to bring families together, to enjoy a meal, spend time together, and reconnect with your family. That's Saverio's in a nutshell. So we're hoping that people who are listening to your podcast and people who are viewing our Instagram and our Facebook, that they come and be part of that philosophy, just to be together and enjoy a good meal and enjoy just being together.
Well, I think that with what you were saying before about, doing barbecue sauce or doing stuff like that, are you still interested in going beyond pizza? And when I say that, I mean making a cookbook, or doing a salad dressing, or doing something within the confines of what you're selling.
Of course.
Is that still on the table?
We still do produce our barbecue sauce that we sell in the butcher shop, because it makes sense. We sell meat, we sell barbecue sauce.
There we go.
He makes his gourmet burgers fresh. They sell there. So they're not in the packaging like we wanted, but we still make them, and they're still offered in A&S. But as far as an extension of what else we can do, there's always that possibility. I want to do cooking class. So I have a whole list of people that are waiting for me to say, today's the day, we're going to do cooking class. So I have that as a vision for Saverio's and for the pork store. Also, when we do expand the business, I will definitely be doing pasta dinner, pasta night, pastas in general, because our sauces are just off the hook, ridiculous and fresh. So
I think our cookbook would kill it for you guys.
Cookbook would be great too.
In the era of self-publishing now, where you can self-publish, you can publish it yourselves.
Right.
And get it out there. Just to try it out.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Do a 50-page ebook, put it on Amazon, charge 99 cents, or hey, if you guys want more, and you could use it as a litmus test and just see, because I think that one of the things that sets you apart from so many others is the high quality ingredients, but just the way that you apply everything. I mean, when you guys posted recently that you were doing a buffalo chicken pizza, where are you going to go? You see a pizza making a buffalo chicken pizza, in an oven that's imported from Nick. Come on.
Yeah, that was good.
I saw it. I was like, yes.
It was Honestly, one of the most popular weekly specials that we've ever done is that buffalo chicken pizza.
That's what happens.
It is our version. I tell everybody, it's our version of buffalo chicken pizza. It's not like the regular buffalo chicken pizza. It's our version of it. It's just from the start, from like the chicken cutlets, just that itself. They're delicious, just freshly breaded and fried. It's not like it's an old chicken cutlet that we have left over that we're throwing on a pizza. No, they're all made fresh, perfect that morning and diced up by hand and then dressed with the buffalo sauce that he created. And it's just, it's really something. And of course, with our homemade mozzarella as the base, you can't go wrong with that.
Nope, absolutely not. I saw it and I was like, wow, that's tremendous. And like I said, I looked at it from that deeper perspective where I said, listen, you got all these imported ingredients and it's being put into buffalo chicken, like you're putting it into bar food, like, and when you look at it, you say to yourself, really? And I saw it in my draw. I was like, yes, because what happens is when you do something like that and you flex those creative muscles, people go, oh,
it just brings it to a different level.
I can get, a couple of buffalo pies, that
this week's secret is we're having a barbecue chicken pizza this week.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
And, so that'll be on tomorrow's menu.
I shared this secret on the story already, our Instagram story.
I've been toying with this buffalo sauce.
Yeah.
This barbecue sauce. It's not my barbecue sauce that I have in the store. It's another one that I made just for pizza.
Nice.
And it's really good.
It's good.
We've been eating it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I probably had 3 of them already since Friday. And, it's really good.
It's good.
I'm looking forward to that one this week.
So that'll be this week's special. It'll be yummy. I'm sure everyone will like it.
I think so.
And then I might do a poll: buffalo or barbecue.
I think,
and just have it fun,
I think so. I think that what if it reaches a point where the popularity of each go head to head, you might want to add it as a menu item.
Yeah,
everyone wants
add it
as
or just for fun. Make it like a secret signature that only, people that are in the know come in and they go, listen, absolutely. I need that thing, or hey, today's the day or it's football day.
It's so funny because we have,
the password.
We have a couple of families that have been coming in since the start, like since we first opened the doors. So they basically get whatever pizza they want.
Exactly. They get
so we have Ed's family comes in and they get their potato croquette pizza.
Nice.
They get that. Anytime we see them pulling up, we already know, let's cut up those potato croquettes fresh because I know that's what they want. We have another family that comes in and they love the hot and spicy. So when we see them, we're like, okay, they want the hot. We know. So it's more often than not, we know what they want before they come in.
That's how you craft good relationships.
Yeah.
That right there, again, lost art form. People, hey, if you come in here 3 times a week, I should know that when I see your face 3 times a week,
right?
That this is what
we
you're
know
gonna
not only what kind of pizza they want, we know what they're drinking.
Yeah, see.
So they sit at the table and their plates put down, their silverwares put down, and so is their drink.
See?
So they know ahead of time. The kids are great that know. We know, and we have this one family that comes every week from Hewlett. There's a husband and wife and the mom, and they get the same 3 pies, 2 margaritas and a fig. Without prosciutto. So
nice
and they get a bottle of wine every week and they're lovely and they're just, they're there every week.
Such nice people.
Yeah, they're awesome. So, and we know what they like. And it's great that they drive all the way from Hewlett on a Sunday. That's not an easy trip to make.
Nope.
And we appreciate that they do come every week. They don't miss a week. They're there. So we look forward to them. It's pretty awesome. We have, customers that become friends, I mean, we've had them join us here for barbecues because we had the Saverio's kids for a summer barbecue. Every year we have a summer barbecue for the staff, and we invited our friend Jim, who's like part of the extended family. So we invited him to come and join us, and he's super. So he's Jim the shot guy. He makes all these different shots and brings us Jello shots, and he's just super. He made us zucchini bread, and he's awesome. So he's a great guy. So we're very, very lucky with all the people that come in.
Before we switch gears, I did want to ask, if someone was looking to get into this industry, what words of wisdom would you pass on?
Go to school, learn the right way. Don't take a shortcut because it's only going to bite you in the butt. And don't skimp on your ingredients. Give good ingredients. It's hard to screw up something if everything you're putting on that pie is quality ingredient.
There you go. I can agree with that.
You know?
I would say my one piece of advice would be the advice that my father's given us our whole life is to, stand by your product. Like, stand by what you're making. Make sure it's the best that you could possibly make it, and, offer it to everyone always with a smile, and, just stand by your product. And if God forbid there is an issue, you own it. You know, things happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fine line especially with this wood burning oven that we have. It's a fine line between crisp and burnt. Like, people come in, they want it well done. So we're like, okay, but I don't offer anything.
Heads up.
Right.
I don't offer anything burnt.
It's only 15 seconds from well done
Right.
to burnt.
But
That's
for
all
me,
it is.
I won't. If a pie needs to be remade, it's remade. If it's too well done for me, I'm not serving it.
Right.
But some people ask for it well done.
Yep.
So I sometimes have to, they're like, no, they want it like, we got one kid that comes every,
Burn victim.
burn it.
One
Oh my
kid
God.
comes in every week, and excuse my language, he goes to me, hey, Margarita, burn that shit.
Yeah.
That's what I tell
He
you.
wants it like
He goes, "Burn
blackened,
that shit."
burnt.
And then you bring it out to him, and he goes, wow, that's sexy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he's literally at our,
And he goes,
almost
"That's
every
sexy."
day, if not every other day, he's having pizza. And God bless him, he's a sweetheart.
And when he
but
leaves,
he
he goes,
wants it
"I'll
burnt.
see you in a few hours."
See you in a few hours. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's crazy.
It's facts. It's the truth. And it's, but you know, that would be my advice is stand behind your product. 100% stand behind it. You know, give a quality, he said quality ingredients, a quality product, and stand behind it 100%.
Like,
Nice.
you know, an old man said something to me one time, you know, it sticks in your mind, certain things. He goes, no, if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
And you know something? It's so true. You'll never see me complain. I don't complain. I don't say, oh my God, or I have to go to work tomorrow.
Nope.
Never happen.
Because it's fun, and that's
I
what
enjoy doing what I do.
Well, the next part of the show we like to do, we call it the hot seat. We just little rapid fire questions.
All right.
Okay.
You know, given that, you know, I was going to interview you guys, I made some adjustments. So, what's your favorite place to eat that's not your own establishment?
Mine?
Yep.
Campagnolas in Manhattan.
Okay. And Emily?
He stole mine, but I'll have to say still in Manhattan, Mr. Chow, Chinese food.
Okay. And with that said, what's the best meal you've ever had?
Oh, I know where mine is. I'm going first. The best meal we ever ate was at Castello de Nero.
You just stole mine.
That's okay. In Tuscany. It was a Michelin star restaurant, La Torre restaurant in Castel de Nero Resort and Spa. It was the best meal we ever ate, hands down from start to finish. And one day we will go back and have that meal again. Fantastic service, atmosphere. The food was just beyond, all in Tuscany.
Nice.
Now you want me to go.
Yeah, of course.
She stole mine, okay?
Well, we have another
I'm
one.
going to say another one.
I know which one you're going to
Il
say.
Molino's.
That's
Okay.
the other one.
Il Molino, I think it was in the Taj Mahal, in Trump
AC.
Taj Mahal in Atlantic City.
Wow.
We went there, my wife and I, and we had dinner. And Il Molino is a very good. I think there was 2 or 3 of them, I believe. And the one that we ate in Taj Mahal,
That was
we
a
had
great
meal.
meal. That was a wonderful meal.
Nice. All right. Now we'll simplify it a little bit. What's your comfort food of choice?
We both have the same one. What do you eat?
Go ahead.
You go first. Well, our go-to thing to eat is ice cream.
Yeah.
100% ice cream. Butter Crunch from Friendly's.
Nice. Okay. You?
Yes, butter crunch or butter pecan ice cream.
Nice. That's
Yes,
that's a hell of
my
a comfort
thing.
food.
That is our thing.
Ice
And
cream.
even my granddaughter, Giabella.
She loves ice cream too.
Nice. Now, people are always gonna. Well, I'm sure someone's gonna ask this, so I beat them to the punch. What makes a perfect meatball?
Okay, well, that's all me. Because I have my mother's
There
recipe
you go.
and
What
she's
do you
made
think?
the
And
best
I'll be honest
meatballs.
with you, they were perfect.
My mother's meatballs were the best, but mine are a close second. I'm going to give you the inside secret to the perfect meatball.
Shoot.
So everyone has their philosophy on meats. So fine, you mix your meat however you want.
Yep.
You know,
Meatball mix.
right. Half of this, half that, or a third of this and third of that, whatever. You take your meat, but the clutch ingredient is the round brick oven bread. Cut it in half, scoop out all the inside, the white part
Yep.
of it, soak it in water, and then squeeze it out.
Nice.
It's not milk. It's just warm water, and then cold water, whatever water, and just put it in your meatballs. I put a ton of cheese.
But you
Always,
break the bread up really,
small.
really small.
I use
Break it up.
fresh parsley, always fresh parsley, fresh garlic,
There you go.
eggs, cheese, parsley. That's it. And you have to fry them or bake them. Just don't kill them. They don't have to be like
Fried.
Well, what do you
mine.
prefer? Fried or
Well,
baked?
I like fried.
Fried?
Yes,
Absolutely.
I'm
Not
fried
like anything
too.
fried.
Man after my own heart. There we go.
It has to be fried, but everyone bakes their meatballs now to be healthier. They do.
Yep.
But I fry mine when I make sauce.
He asked for the perfect meatball.
All
He
right,
didn't say
so-
a meatball.
All right. So the perfect meatball is fried, but you don't have to fry it to death because it's going to cook in the gravy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. What's something that you've purchased recently that's less than $100 that has made your life either easier or just more enjoyable?
Oh boy.
Less than $100. Less than $100.
Pertaining to work?
Anything. Whatever. What's something that you just bought? Less than $100. They were just like,
Okay.
This was worth buying. Or
Okay.
This was
Do you
worth.
really want to know what I
Sure.
bought that was less than $100?
Shoot.
I bought a pair of Crocs.
Really?
They were, I think, $35. They are the best sandals I've ever bought. I wear them to work. They're my work sandals.
Listen, if it works
Crocs.
for Mario Batali, it works for you.
I didn't even think of that, but I just bought them by chance.
Right.
And I said, oh my God, they're so comfortable. They're amazing. So I wear them to work. But now that the winter's rolling, I have to find a good pair of like winter footwear.
My wife likes Minnetonka moccasins.
Okay.
Very nice.
Very
They're
nice.
furry inside. She loves that.
But can I wear them to work? They might be a mess with the flour.
Yeah,
That's
well,
why I
you
like
gotta
the
have a beater
Crocs.
pair.
That's why I like the Crocs because they're plastic. I could rinse them off.
That's it.
But they were the best, less than $100 purchase I bought that made me very, very happy. And my
Nice.
feet too. What about you? What'd you buy? But I know, well, there was more than $100.
Yeah, more than $100. It was, but if I would say I bought something less than $100, because usually I don't spend less than $100 for some reason.
Everything costs more.
Yeah.
I'm with you, but there's got to be.
I want to say my smart switches that I installed myself in
yes.
my house.
Those are very nice. I saw those when I walked in.
Yeah,
Very cool.
They're smart switches.
They are cool.
Nice.
All I say is, Alexa,
Yep.
Alexa, good night.
And now we're sitting in the dark.
There we go. That my wife, I bought an Alexa, and I said, she goes, I don't know why you're buying this thing. I don't get why we need this.
Hold on.
It took a week, and I hear her, Alexa, what's the weather for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Alexa,
There you go.
Oh, good grief. You know what?
It's
We're
okay.
gonna use the switches.
There you go.
Alexa's being stubborn tonight.
No, but it's funny because when I did that and I bought it, she's like, I don't get it, but because that's how it goes. And then now I hear her, what's the weather? Set an alarm.
Yeah,
do this.
we
do
did
that.
the alarm for the first time a
It
couple
was
of weeks
funny
ago.
because Emily goes, "Oh, we're going to put these switches in. Where are you going to do those switches?"
You'll
So
see.
I really enjoyed it. I put them in myself.
Yeah, they're
and
really cool.
I enjoyed it.
Those are Lutron switches, right?
Yes, they are.
very cool.
Because I'm sure someone's gonna ask. Now, I know, this is an easy one. I've gone to your establishment. There's always nice music playing in the background. What do you listen to when you work?
When I work,
Yeah, like what's
I
playing?
like-
What's the soundtrack to your work day?
my favorite song, my favorite music, or what's playing in the store? Let me ask you that question.
Either or.
My favorite music is classic disco music.
Okay.
And on a Friday night, like after 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, we put that on in the store because people come in and they really enjoy
They
it. the
enjoy that.
customers.
Nice.
And then we get a lot of compliments about our
the
music. And they say, well, I
sure.
like the music in this place.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. And then sometimes, of course, we go to Frank Sinatra
That's what I was
and
gonna
all
say.
the
In the
oldies,
store,
Dean Martin.
Frank Never Hurts.
Oldies and stuff.
Dean Martin we
The Rat
listen
Pack
to.
music.
Yeah, it's awesome. The music is always good.
Nice. And of course, it wouldn't be Toys and Tech without talking about toys at least briefly. What was your favorite toy as a kid?
Oh gosh. My favorite toy as a kid. I had Barbies. But the one Barbie, if I had to pick the one Barbie, actually there's a few Barbies I have to talk about. Cause one wasn't really a traditional Barbie. It was the Cher Barbie doll. I had Cher.
They're worth a lot of money.
I think I still have her. She may not have clothes on. She might be a naked Cher, but I think I still have her in my parents' garage. So I had a Cher Barbie doll. I had Tuesday Taylor, who had like a scalp that you could flip blonde hair or black hair. It was kind of weird, but
holy cow.
Tuesday Taylor. And then there was like this pioneer girl, Jody. She was a pioneer doll.
Wow.
I had a lot of Barbie dolls, like dolls that I just always played with dolls. So that's what I played with as a kid.
Sam?
Mine would probably be Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love those. Anytime they're in a store and they do all different variations now, like they did a Batman and Superman pair, which they gave us to give away, and I had to crack it open
I'm sure
and just mess with it.
Me and my son I just got one. Him and my son were playing about a month ago, so
nice.
Still play with them.
Nice. All right, so Sam and Emily, you've made it through the hot seat, and you shared the toys and tech that allow you to run your business. I'm very grateful that you guys took the time out to chop it up with us. And last but not least, where can people find you guys on the internet?
On the internet, our website is Saverio'sPizza.com. So our menu is available there. On Instagram, we are at Saverio's_authentic_pizza. And as well as Facebook. That's our Facebook handle too.
Awesome. Thank you both for chopping it up with us and sharing the toys and tech of your trade.
Thank you. I just have to add one more thing if I may.
Of course.
This is September and it is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So we do a collection at Saverio's for St. Jude's. So if anyone is in the general area or would like to donate to St. Jude's, they could stop by, make a donation, or they could send a check made out to St. Jude's to the store at 929 Broadway in Massapequa and address it to me. And I will gladly submit your donation along with ours. I do it yearly. Our checks go in December 15th every year, and our goal is $5,000 a year. So far, this is our 7th year. And right now, with just the collections from January to date, we have $2,500 already.
Wow.
So that's before my initial push that I do right before Thanksgiving, where I send out my donation letters. So we're already halfway there. So I think we're going to exceed our goal for this year. So, and also thank you very much for having us tonight.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you
very
guys.
much.
That concludes our interview with Sam and Emily Cataldo from Saverio's Pizza Room. To find out more about Saverio's Pizza Room, make sure to give them a follow on Instagram, check them out on Facebook, and of course, visit their website. Links for that will be in the show notes for this episode. Thank you guys for checking out episode 2 of Toys and Tech of the Trade. If you have any questions, concerns, or would like to be a guest on a future episode of Toys and Tech of the Trade, you can email me, rich@rageworks.net. And you can also use the contact form on the site, rageworks.net, as well. You can find the Rageworks Network on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and iHeartRadio. And you can find Toys and Tech of the Trade on iTunes. Last but not least, if you really enjoyed this episode, please take a moment and give it a rating on iTunes. We would really appreciate it. To find out more about Rageworks, as always, visit us at rageworks.net. Thank you guys for listening. We're out of here. Peace.
If we want to list every way Spreaker can help podcast publishers, well, we need a podcast of our own. Whether you're in charge of long-running series with extensive backlogs or countless limited series, you can organize and monetize your entire catalog with Spreaker. With Spreaker's customizable publisher plan, you can add collaborators, analyze extensive listener analytics, and even share exclusive content through custom RSS feeds. And that's just for starters. Head to Spreaker.com to learn more. That's Spreaker.com.